These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Barnes. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Barnes. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help. And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. They gained nothing, and all they need are inches. Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge, their D-line surge leading to 4th. They'll go with the keeper, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now they try the right side here. And he's got some space here. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for him right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Off play action. Barnes. And his throw is incomplete.
Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Barnes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll drop the throw. Flush. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Randy Gregory in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
He's got the hook up with Conley. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Off the play fake. Barnes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And that one results in 35 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And they'll run it here. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Off the toss, Cohen. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Cohen. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they run with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And now here come the Cowboys. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Looking to throw. Barnes. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun. Barnes. He's going to loft one. Deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Onto the field now come the Bears. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now a handoff looking right, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. Barnes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give to Howard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On a handoff, this is Howard. Down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Just a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that'll give them a 1st.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 1st, they go right back to Howard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Eluding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Barnes. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Flushed out right. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
No. Check. Patriot.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Barnes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun!
From the gun, Barnes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? for the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. They run with Howard, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off around the 37. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gibson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all. And now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Barnes fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Now, yes, a two-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a two-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. Looking to throw. Barnes. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gibson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. From the gun on third down, Barnes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Howard with his sights on a third straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. A give left side to Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running with Howard. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They go with Howard again. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. The Bears on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11.
No, check. Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that.